I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to make this cute little Easter basket, and the nice thing about these are a lot more durable and we can make it fancy and customize it for any little girl or boy that we want to do that for. So the first thing we're going to do is make a run and pick up our supplies, and I picked these up at the Dollar Tree. Probably any of your 99-cent stores will have some little basket like that. I did have to make sure that they were even numbered, and I think they would be the holes because they are the same on one side as the other. And while I was there, I also picked up some Easter ribbon, and I made sure it was a kind with a wire in it so that I can fluff it again and use it next year. Walmart has been carrying recently Tulle, and it's found with the seasonal stuff. It can be in the seasonal section or it can be back in the craft section. And when they carry it, it's 20 yards and it's $1 a spool, so that's a really, really good deal. And when I pick it up seasonal, also think about other colors that you could use, like these two. Even the blue would be really fun for Halloween, so don't get stuck in just thinking about it for one season. Make sure you think about purchasing it for other seasons as well. Now, one of my favorite things to do, which saves a lot of time and a lot of hassle, is cutting the Tulle with the paper cutter, especially if you're going to do quite a bit. Now, I've already measured this off, so I know that I need 10 of each of these colors. And I'm going, the green was a little bit thicker for some reason than the other colors. So the green, I'm going to use one by itself between each of the holes, and the blue and purple I'm going to put two together, and I'm just going to alternate which one is on top. So I need 10 of each one of those, and they need to be 10 inches long. And this is a really nice little paper cutter. It's metal, not plastic, so I really like it. It's 10 inches across, which is the perfect length for me instead of the 12, so it's a little bit more compact. And then when you're done with it, you hook it right there instead of the hook that falls out. And we do have these at miriamjoy.com, so that is really a nice paper cutter. So we're going to go ahead and cut these into sections. And they're 10-inch sections, like I said, so I'm just going to lay them down and cut each one of those. And I need to do just a couple more of these. And you can see how fast this goes. Just lay this right here and pull it over. And you always want it on. Just be really careful with the blade. You want to make sure that you always are watching that blade. And that's another thing that I really like about these. The blades does not drop on its own. It stays up. So that's another reason that I like to use that. So we've got 10 of each of those colors, and we're simply going to start, and it may be easier to put all of the green on first. I'll get the paper cutter out of our way here. Large bang, that ought to scare everybody and the dog. And check out my other little video we've done with the hair bow. And so we're going to just gather these up in the middle. Now we have to, you could either, if you wanted to do them from the top, you could do it on this row here, but because the top row doesn't have anything above it, and I like it slanted out to the side, so I'm going to take it and stick that little piece through, and we're going to pull them to the side, and you can make them go either direction that either way that you want them to go. Now you're not, this part here should be on the top. So I wanted to do this one the opposite direction that I did the other one. And if you wanted to do all the green first, you could do all the green first and then go back and do the purple and the blue. That is totally up to you. So again, we're going to pop that through, and I think, and just slide it through that little part there. Keep your tails together as you pull them so you don't have one longer than the other. And you can see how much smaller that is. It's just not as thick as netting, and it looks the same on the roll. And I'm going to put the purple one on top. And this goes really, really fast, so these would be really cute to make. You could even do them for the boys if you wanted to do them in boy colors, but they're probably more for the little girls, I would imagine. Another thing I think would be really cute is to get your Sharpies and write their names or draw some designs around the top. That way their baskets wouldn't get messed up. Right where you have the handles, you could do some decorating with that. Or if you wanted them to do it, make it more personal for them, then let them do that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one more here. Now the green is also a little bit harder to pull tight. So now on this one, you can do them all the same, but I reversed the blue and the purple, and you could do however you wanted to do the colors. Because we have 3 colors, you couldn't do them 3 because we've got an even number. So you could do blue one time and then the green and then the purple, or however you wanted to do that. But by doubling up on them, I'm just going to have as much color. So I like that variation. You can pick up what color of basket you want. I thought the green was a really cute, springy color. That's what green kind of says to me. But you could pick up the pink. You could pick up whatever color you wanted. The pink would be really cute. Little girl, foo-foo-y one as well. Now, if you had one and you wanted to turn it more into like a little ballerina skirt, you could do exactly what we're doing here, only do it up, down, downwise. So you'd have this little section here, and you could stick the ribbon through it there, and that would be fine. You could use a smaller Easter ribbon to run along the top if you brought that down. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that all the way around, and then we'll put our bow on. I've got around the basket one time, and we're going to get ready to make the bow. If you wanted the bow on both sides, take your Easter ribbon, pull it out, and cut it in half, and that way you know how much you have to work with, and then you can put the bow on either side and have enough ribbon. I'm going to put a little bit of tulle in the middle of these, and I'm going to do a 6-inch, and we may trim it shorter. We'll see when we get there, of each color in that. So now that we've got that all done, we've got those set aside, and we're going to start our bow. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a tail, and I'm going to twist it and go to one side. We're going to twist it, and twist it makes the pattern come out in front. And when you're picking your bow, we've talked about always making sure that it is wire bow, so that way you can puff it out again next year. Now, depending on how much ribbon you have is how big you're going to make your little petals or loops or whatever you want to call them. So if you need them shorter, just make them a little bit shorter. And if you get any creases in your ribbon after you do that, just wet them down with water or a spray bottle, and those will come right out, so it's not a big deal. There is also a video I have on how to tie a bow if you need a little bit more instructions on that. I'm just going to do 3 loops on each side for this one, and we'll finish him off with a tail. And even on our tail, we've got to put that twist in there so that design will lay towards the front. And I'm going to tie it, and we'll cut that off. And I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. And I want a full pipe cleaner on this one because we've still got to tie it onto the basket. And we were supposed to put our tool in before we did that, but that's okay. We'll get our tails here, and we'll go back and do the tool in the middle. And it may be easier to go ahead and do it that way anyway than to try and hold it while we wrangle our tool. So we've got that tail, and let's go ahead and gather up our tool. And bring that all together there. And I'll just unloosen this. Make sure you've got it held together with your fingers. And we're just going to lay that tool right in the center of the bowl. Right there. Make sure you're kind of even. And go back and retie that. Pull that guy back down. Now, if you think this is too tall, just pull it all up towards the top, or if you want to make it even, and just trim it just like that. It's that simple. Now, for this one, because we've got 1 in the middle instead of 2, we're going to put it in these 2 holes to the side. So take our pipe cleaner and stick it through that hole and the other hole. And make sure you have it turned so that he is going down towards the front. And then we're just going to take our pipe cleaner and twist that nice and short there. Now, because this is a little kid's Easter basket, you don't really want to trim the ends and have the sharp edges, so I'm going to tuck those back in and around, or if you do trim it, just make sure that you tuck those tails in really tight, and so no little sharp edges are there to get anybody's little hands. Trim this guy a little bit shorter because that's dragging the ground, so we don't want that there. So we've got him all done. Now that we've got 1 done, how would 2 rows be? Isn't that a lot of fun? Look how much fun that is. I did this exactly the same. On the 2nd row, I went the opposite direction. But you could do it all going the same direction. It would just be thicker. And you could do all 4 of the holes. That would be totally up to you. Whatever you think would be fun to do, go ahead and do that. But I think those are just really fun. On this one, I'm not going to put a bow. I like that just the way that is, and I think the bow would kind of get in the way. So I think that it just makes the perfect little Easter basket for our frilly little girls and their wonderful little Easter dresses that they have during this season. Come on over to Miriam Joy's Waxy Crafty Corner, where we put up new videos as we're working on them for you, especially during the season times, so that you always have fun things to inspire you, and that is on our Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a blessed Easter.